Hey y'all, Joefer here, the Cranky Old Gay Guy, and welcome to November Blues. That's right, it's the first day of November. It is pouring, and the skies are gray. It's not cold, but it's not warm. Hence, I have to wear a jacket with a raincoat over it when I walk the dog. Not a good feeling. Well, yesterday was Halloween, and I did absolutely nothing. I had one person come up to the door. They must have been really young and little because I didn't hear any knocking, but the dog went wild. I just ignored it. The porch light was off, the front of the house was dark. It's how I roll. And even though I didn't do anything for the holiday, I am suffering from post-holiday fatigue. That's right. I'm exhausted. I got plenty of sleep last night, but yesterday was just really strenuous and tiring for me. And the weather does not help. I was watching a video this morning, and it's about feeling younger. And, it involves fasting and minimal exercise. But one of the key points was to take in 10 minutes of sunshine in the first hour after you wake up. Well, I live in Portland, Oregon, and so unless it's the summer months, that is impossible. And one of these artificial lights, sunlight lights, don't really have the same effect because you're not getting sunlight on your skin and in your eyes, and you're outside and it's beautiful. Of course, in the video, they show someone walking along a beach, just in a bathing suit. So if you live in a warm weather climate, I think that would be fantastic. But in Portland, that is not a doable thing. It just isn't for the next 5 months, which is depressing as heck. Which brings us to another subject, seasonal depression. I have never been diagnosed with it, but my body feels it, and I know I have a little bit of it because I feel this way every time the seasons change or there is a major weather change. Let's say it's spring. We've had beautiful weather, and then suddenly we'll have 2 weeks of solid rain and gray skies. Blue sky here, here and there. But I get depressed then too, or at least my body feels down and I just want to shudder in place. And shudder? No, I think I want to shelter in place. But that is seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, also known as seasonal depression. At least that's what I've read. Again, I've not been diagnosed. I don't stay in these long depressions, but I do feel them day to day. I'll be up one day and then the weather changes and I'm just feeling like crap the next day. Not physically ill, but emotionally drained and physically tired. We are in the season of early sunsets. Yesterday was 5 o'clock and the sun was already pretty much gone. Given it was behind clouds, so you couldn't see it, but it was already very, very dark. Around 4:30, you have to turn your headlights on because everyone else has them on. And it's dim streets, cloudy, dark, people everywhere. So I miss the days when your headlights didn't come on until after 9 p.m. Yeah. Again, and just the way you can see my eyes, they want to close. They don't want to sleep. They just want to close because my body is just tired of this. Even though we've only had it for a few weeks, it's tired of it and it's ready for some sunshine. Another issue that affects this is, to give you the November blues, are holiday expectations. Now, I haven't taken part in a Thanksgiving holiday celebration in, oh boy, I think 2018 was the last time I went to one. And cousins and everyone was there because my father had died the month before. But that was the last time that I took part in a holiday celebration for Thanksgiving, a family holiday. I know friends have holiday things, but I've been to some in the past, but nothing in recent years. Nor am I requesting an invite because I don't really want one. Thanksgiving is a day where I stay home, where I go, well, if the gym's open, I'll go to the gym. But It'll just be a me day when I don't want to be around people. I don't think that holiday gatherings are something that my body craves or my mind craves. I've went to them for years and years because I guess because it's expected. There's a social expectation involved where you don't want to. Uh, Google just went off to tell me to have a good day. Someone set up a reminder, probably me, when testing Google when I first got it. So it'll just randomly come in and say, here's a reminder, have a good day. AI, it's not AI, it's just a routine I need to get in there and get rid of. But social expectations to take part in holiday celebrations. No, not my thing. It might be different if I was a couple, who had extended family or extended friends that you want to socially gather together because you don't see them a lot. But if it's someone you see all the time, why would you want to spend your holiday with them? I don't get it. I understand why couples take separate vacations because you just need to get away from who you're with and experience new things and new people. And when you travel as a couple, you don't meet those new people because unless it's another couple, they're hesitant to come and socialize with a couple. You know what I mean? It's like when you're in a bar and in a clique, people don't approach you when you're in a clique, but if it's someone single, it's easy to talk to them. It's the same thing with holiday celebrations. I do not want to go to a holiday celebration like a family celebration where you meet all the extended family unless I've met them before or I have met them before and it didn't do anything for me. So I don't want to waste an entire day. Another issue with this is the whole concept of gathering to eat. Any type of a function that centers around food is annoying as all get out. It's different if the activity is going to a restaurant and picking up a burrito, okay? But when you go somewhere and the expectation is you'll get appetizers and a beverage or whatever, and you wait for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours for this meal that we're all supposed to gather around, and then do nothing but compliment the chefs or whoever brought whatever dish. And then what? You eat some rich, unhealthy dessert, which is usually too sweet, and it's not necessary, and that's it. You go home, and you've just wasted 6 hours of your day. And what did you get out of it? You got fatigued, you got annoyed, you ate stuff that's not necessarily good for you, you ate stuff that you don't really like the taste of, but you were hungry, so you had to put something in your gut, right? Call me a pessimistic person, but functions around food should be limited to one-on-ones. They shouldn't be limited to a big group of people together because it's a waste of time. That's how I feel about that. November blues, aging. Reflections on aging. I'd like to give you a few reflections. Probably the scariest reflection is seeing photos of myself from years ago and then walking by a mirror and seeing my reflection now. Whew, I have aged. Now, some will say I aged well and I look younger than I am. Others will say, oh my God, you got old, girl. And gay people do say that, usually behind your back, but they do say it. Someone said yesterday to me, they mentioned someone I know and they go, oh yeah, I just looked him up because I haven't seen him in years. And I said, oh my God, he looks so old. Well, if you haven't seen him in 10 years, he has aged. Yeah. The reflections on aging as well, I'd like to point out that as someone who is in his early 60s, I am almost 63. My energy levels are nowhere near what they used to be. My sleep patterns are still similar from what they used to be. I think I'm actually sleeping approximately 6+ hours a day now, especially since it got cold and dark. When there's no light coming in, even though I have blinds on my windows, my I sleep in a basement bedroom, but I do have windows. And in the summer, 4 or 5 in the morning, the shades kind of get light up, so I know it's daylight. But now sun doesn't come up until 8 o'clock in the morning, something like that, 7:30. So I'm laying there thinking, oh, it must be 5 a.m., but it's not. Uh, so I don't know where I'm going with that, but that's where I went. Aging. Um, I don't have the energy. I actually have more muscle mass now than I did then because I do different exercises at the gym that I didn't do previously. But I also have more chubbiness around the handles and the tummy than I had when I was younger. And I do miss the fact that if I felt my pants were tight in the 90s, I could just run a few blocks for 2 or 3 days and all of those that tightness would go away. Now, I don't run, period. I hated running back then, but I could do it. I've had back injuries since then, so running is out. Um, but I could get on an elliptical machine or something and spend 2 hours just sweating like a pig and being exhausted and not lose anything. So yeah, I that my metabolism, I guess what you'd say is it's slowed. Holidays. November we have Thanksgiving. Okay, then we're gonna have Christmas. And then you're gonna have New Year's. And they all come right one after the other. The days of me going out on New Year's Eve are long past. Places jack up their prices. Why? Well, we have to pay for the champagne that we serve at midnight to everybody. I don't drink champagne, so why would I want to pay an extra amount of money to come in? Not to mention the fact that every bar and club gets so crowded and packed that you can't hear yourself think, let alone talk to anybody. When I was younger, I didn't mind that. It was fun. But, when I say younger, I'm talking 30s. That was a long time ago. And now I just find that stuff annoying. And I would much rather be alone on a couch with a blanket and my dog watching something, a movie, than going out on New Year's Eve. And I also don't feel the need to stay up to greet the new year because whether you stay up or not, it's still going to be there the next day. So staying home beats forced cheer any day of the week. As far as going out, I have to leave here in 30 minutes. Hopefully, it will be a short day. There is something at 6, I think it's at 6, in Vancouver, Washington, at the Underbar. There's a comedy show, and a comedian that I know is going to be on stage. One of, I think, 4 comedians. So I would like to go to that, but it all depends on how I feel when I get home and how early I get home. Again, I'm looking at hopefully 4 hours, but who's to say? Life will do to you what life will do to you. Although I'm in control of my personhood, I'm not in control of what life throws at me. People will say you are because you can manifest and you send out energy. Yeah. I've read the books. I've done the practices. Sometimes I think they're working and other times I think they're not working. So you can tell me what's worked in your life. That's great, but it doesn't mean it's going to work in everyone's lives. I don't know what more to tell you. This is just going on far too long. So I'm going to let you all go. And again, happy November 1st, everybody. Don't let SAD, seasonal affective disorder, get you too down. And if you do feel like it's hitting you hard to the point where you can't take it anymore, reach out and call somebody, talk to somebody. There are a lot of apps where you can get therapy cheap as opposed to what you'd pay if you went in person. Or just search YouTube. YouTube? No. Search Facebook for a seasonal depression group because that way you'll be able to text back and forth, maybe even, give your number to somebody you can talk on the phone because seasonal depression is seasonal. It will go away regardless of how bad you think things are. things will change. So if you are feeling at your wit's end and your rope is running out, don't go through it alone. Talk to somebody, call a friend, call your family, call an anonymous crisis line. I will try to put a crisis number in the description of this video. I know that it's been defunded, but I was under the impression that I believe Canada took the number and they're now offering their counseling services, emergency counseling services by phone to people in the U.S. as well, once Trump's Doge took all the money away. That's another story entirely. Don't dwell on it. All right, everybody. Stay cranky, my friends. Stay cranky. Bye-bye.